What's up, guys? How we doing? Elle Diablo, welcome back. What's going on? I just got back from Boston. Boston was great. It's a great city, you know. There was a person there I met in Boston, and they had a half wolf, half husky. That was pretty. It looked like a full wolf. Looks like a full wolf. They didn't even need to tell me it was a wolf. I was like, "Oh, is that a wolf?" And they're like, "It's a half husky." And I'm like, "I do not believe you." It was crazy. And it's always like my aunt has dingoes. Dingoes are wild dogs in Australia, but you can half breed them to be half domesticated so that they're Carolina dogs. So they're half wild, half not wild. I don't want to speak for all white people, but I feel like white people love to have a half wild thing in their house. They love to commit a crime 50% of the way. They're like, I'm not doing they're living 50% on the edge. Technically, they're not, doing anything illegal, but at the same time they are. I don't know what it is. It's 50% of danger. We don't like 100% of danger, because then that's scary. Then we don't have control. We love to like dance with it. We're like, yeah, let's see like what a half wolf would do, spice up our life a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like if white people went through a little bit more struggle, they wouldn't be like, let's invite a wild animal into the mix, And it's I mean, we see it everywhere. And I don't want to misrepresent the exotic animal community, but I feel like it's mostly white people. I think there's some black people, but it's like mostly white. There was that one tiger that they found in the Bronx. It was just a full-blown, yeah, did you know it was a full-blown tiger in the Bronx, by himself in an apartment. I think he did a house swap with the guy. The guy's just in a forest in India. What the hell? No, okay. That was my impression of that guy. I'm assuming that guy was Puerto Rican or black. I'm sorry. Maybe he was a white guy living in the Bronx. Yeah, I don't know. But are there white people in the Bronx? I mean, I met a girl who's half white and she's from the Bronx. So I think that counts, but and it's not like, I feel like white people don't deserve to live in the Bronx. Like, I feel like that's just not, I feel like, is the Bronx bad anymore? Harlem's not bad anymore. Harlem used to be a bad place, but now it's, in terms of crime, I really know nothing about the Bronx besides this tiger and this guy. I don't know if that guy actually went to India, but so yeah, my aunt has a dog half wild, and they are half wild. They act full wild, I will say. Like they have a pack system, and you walk into their house, and apparently you're the least important person in the pack, because they already developed. There's 7 dogs, by the way. My aunt has 7 dogs. She's doing really well. And they're all half wild. So I think 7 half wild dogs equal like at least 4 fully wild dogs. Which is scary. I haven't been to her house in a long time. Usually when whenever I come over, they have to like lock the dogs in like a metal chamber, or else they can break the door down, because they all want to kill you because they're, wild animals. But then the family, the dogs like, the immediate family. But I think, I don't know if I told this story, but one time I was at my aunt's house for Thanksgiving, and one of the dogs was eating out of the trash can. And so I kind of gave it a shove. I was like, hey, stop eating out of the, not like, I wasn't like, Justin's mouth is on the floor. I wasn't like beating it. I was just like giving if you see a dog doing a bad thing, what do? You just say, hey, Blue. You don't try to reason it with it like verbally. You push it gently. Okay. I thought everyone would just assume I'm not abusing animals. I gently just nudged it and was like, hey, why don't eat out of the trash? And then, the pack leader saw me, immediately came for me, bit my leg, bit me through my pants, blood shed. Yeah, ripped my pants. My aunt was like, you can sue me, right? I'm like, this is a horrible time to tell me that, because I always need money. But don't tell me that. That's my buzzword, okay? That's the opposite of a safe word. If I do something and you're like, you could sue me for a lot of money, right? That's a danger word for you. I didn't sue my aunt though, because I love my aunt, of course. And she's super sweet. I was also on mushrooms, so yeah, and I'm like, whose fault is it? I mean, it's not my fault, but maybe the dog sensed I was on mushrooms and was like, that's disrespectful to my girl. And you don't come in this house where my mom is going to feed your ass with beautiful food on shrooms. Actually, I was tripping acid. I think that's worse. Oh, the dog totally sensed it. Oh, that's what it was. I thought that was an overreaction from the dog. I'm like, I didn't deserve that. I think it was just, I think it knew I was tripping on acid. I think it was just waiting for the perfect moment to be like, get your shit together. Don't fuck around. Not in my house. Get off these drugs, you delinquent. So that happened, and my aunt ended up, she did pay me $200. I didn't even ask, but she was like, to get your leg fixed and your clothes, because it ripped my pants. So, little tiny violin. But yeah, half dogs are wild. Even any type of wild animal. It's weird. I'm really trying to get to the bottom of like why white people, and maybe it's all races, but I feel like white people really dance with the devil on this one. They really, especially, did you see that chimp crazy lady? It's this woman, it's like Dolly Parton if she had 3 extra chromosomes, and she has like, bleach blonde hair, all this, fake tan, nails done, cute, it's a look, but she's obsessed with chimpanzees, and they have all these chimpanzees, and she used to have a husband, and so if someone dies from a chimpanzee, the chimpanzee people community keep that on the low, because they don't want it to get out that chimpanzees are actually really aggressive, something that we all already know. But her husband was attacked by a chimpanzee, it was like in the 90s, and it tore off his nose, and he was like, yeah, it was my fault. I was trying to touch it. And then 2 years later, he dies. Her husband dies, and they just say it's from natural causes. 32 years old. Obviously, a chimp killed him. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I think I mean, when I was little, I dreamt of having a spider monkey and a cheetah. I think you think, I think that we can really do anything, even in terms, or we have this need to be so close and attached to nature when we're so far removed. Do all white people come from colonialism? Yeah. So maybe it's because we were never a part of the land. We're trying to reconnect with these animals, and these animals are like, I do not know you. Because you know how like Native Americans have a special connection with horses? I feel like we're like, oh yeah, us too. And the horses are like, no, not really. They're not my favorite. Anyways, this wolf, this half wolf, allegedly, they're telling me about it. Apparently, it kills something every day, as dogs do. But it kills like a rabbit or a squirrel. I don't know about you guys, but all the dogs I've had, they've been able to kill, like the real dogs that are 0% wild, they've been able to kill one squirrel maybe in their lifetime. Like, I think that's more of a wild thing to. It's also gone toe to toe with a moose, it's killed an elk. I mean, you could just use it as a hunting tool at this point. But pretty cool stuff. I was in Boston. Boston was a lot of fun at Laugh Boston, and now I'm going to Las Vegas this weekend. I'm so excited. Yay! It's gonna be so fun. I'm opening for Kyle Dunnigan. Woo! Yeah, it's gonna be great. And you know what I've been wondering lately? When manifestation is like you speak out what you want in life, and it becomes real, or like whatever. What's the difference between manifestation and jinxing yourself? You know, because jinxing is like, oh, I'm gonna have a great time, knock on wood, because you don't know. That was like what we grew up with, and then all of a sudden it's, no, I am going to have a good time. And this is science. And there is no knocks on no hardwood that needs to be had, because it's energy I'm putting out, not bad vibes. I don't know maybe I'll ask ChatGPT. I have it right here. Hey, ChatGPT, what's the difference between jinxing yourself and manifesting something that you want?
Hey, great question. Jinxing yourself usually means unintentionally inviting bad luck or a negative outcome by talking about it. It's almost like a superstition. When you say something good or make a bold claim, you fear you might jinx it, causing the opposite to happen. For example, saying, "This is going to be the easiest test ever," and then worrying you'll fail because you jinxed it.
I hate his voice. Oh, sorry. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. Okay. Hello. Hello. Keep going with the manifestation part. How's it different from jinxing?
Sure. Manifesting is the intentional practice of focusing your thoughts, beliefs, and energy on a desired outcome to help bring it into reality. It's about setting clear intentions, visualizing success, and aligning your...
Okay, one, I don't like his voice at all. Two, I feel like it's just a decision. You either think you're jinxing it or you're manifesting. Maybe the jinx came from Big Pharma saying, oh, if you actually try to manifest your dreams, you're just jinxing yourselves. And then, because I think manifesting is real because it has to do with energy and all that stuff, science. Anyways, gonna have a good time in Las Vegas. Love Las Vegas. I've never done comedy there before though. I've just gotten drunk there with the girls. Um, I'm not excited for the prices. Las Vegas has some airport prices. I don't know why they do that. Everything's so expensive there. And you're already getting all of our money, but I guess it is pretty nice. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Oh, guess what? I mean, I don't know why I said it like that, but last night I ran my hour at Flophouse Comedy Club. Shout out Flophouse. Yeah, it was a great time. I did 45 minutes, 46 minutes. No crowd work, baby, all jokes. Yeah, it was good stuff. It was a lot of fun, man. And now I'm exhausted and it's raining and I can't do anything. And I ripped off all my nails because, oh my God, I got such a bad, I know like most of my listeners are men, but I just got such a bad nail job, I guess. I'm trying to describe it to guys. Basically, when you get long nails, like fake ones, they put down this plaster on your fingers and then it sticks and it stays forever. This guy didn't know what he was doing and he put so much plaster on my nails that it stayed for like months. And I swear, if any guy did this to a celebrity's hand, what this man did to my hand, he would be locked in a basement. He would be locked in a basement, no water, no food for 2 weeks because what he did was criminal. But I ripped them all off. Now I have my little baby boy hands again. Ayo. Ooh, I also got new perfume. It was perfume that Chloe was wearing the other week. And I liked it. I don't know if I got the right one, but it smells like, I don't think I got the right one because hers smelled really good and musky. This one smells like sexy trees or something. You know, like trees where they're like, I'm going to pollinate in you, you know? I'm going to pollinate the fuck out of you. Yeah, this is like a tree that pollinates everywhere. Ew. No, it's good. No, it's good. I smell like, you know, I'm gonna try to have sex with a minor. You know, like that. It's up to no good. Like I own a dingy club in like Chinatown or something. Disgusting. I wear like velour suits or something. Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, maybe I have to let it set a little bit. I'm not sure. But what are your guys' favorite perfumes? I know there's like 3 women that listen to this podcast, but I would love if there would be more. Tell your friends, share the pod, comment, let me know how you like the podcast. We're having fun, right? I met Pete Davidson the other night at the stand. He's really nice. He's cool. He told a story about how he ran a car into a house. And that reminded me of one of my old bits that I stopped doing because it's a story. It's an interesting story, but I didn't at the time. I don't think I was good enough at stand up to figure it out. But basically I've always been really bad at math. I think anyone could have guessed that. I'm horrible at math, especially in college. There's this math test or math class that you had to pass in order to graduate. It was probability. So, it's like if you have 2 green balls and 3 red balls, what's the chances of you getting a purple ball? And I think I was just too optimistic for this class because my answer would always be like anything's possible, you know, like whatever you want, you know, it doesn't really matter. And none of my teachers, I couldn't understand the concept of probability, and my teachers couldn't understand the concept of me. So it was I failed every class, and I had to go to summer school. So I go to summer school to like pass this class back home in the suburbs of Chicago. And a kid from high school, the only person I knew in the class was a kid from high school. His name, we'll say, is Bobby. And Bobby was a bad boy. He was a bad boy in school. But I liked the bad kids, because I just thought, I had a really strict dad, and I just wished I just always wished I could have been bad like the bad kids, but my dad was too much of a butthole. Anyway, so Bobby is on house arrest because he ran a car into a house when he was drunk driving. So he's actively on house arrest. And then first day, we're chatting it up, and he's like, yeah, I'm just retaking this class because like I'm really good at this stuff. I'm really good at math. I'm just retaking it because I think he like blacked out, like got drunk for one of the tests, and then they like kicked him out or something. It was something badass. Like he was smoking a cig, just lit up a AK-47 in class or something. He did something cool. And then so now he has to retake the course. So then I was like, oh, we should study together because I'm really bad at this type of math. And he was like, yeah, for sure. So I would always go to Rocky's house and we would study. I wouldn't get anything, but, whatever. I would still study. And my strict ass dad was like, did I say his real name by accident? Here, clock this time, Justin. Bobby. Okay. So my dad loved Bobby because Bobby was good at math, but I'm like, Dad, are we forgetting the house thing? Like if I ever ran a car through a house, you would sever my head off yourself. But my dad was just he valued math, he thought if you're really good at math, like, I think the whole school system kind of has this vibe that or just outlook, if you're good at math, they think you're smart. And I think the world actually does. If someone's good at math, you immediately trust them. You're like, well, I can trust you with like at least 50 or 60% of my life. So then the final comes around, right? And I'm like, I still don't get it. And he's like, you can just copy off me for the final. I don't care. He's a bad boy. He doesn't care. So then I'm like, all right, bad boy status. So I show up to the final. Bobby's not there, and he never comes. And I had to take the final, failed it. And I texted him, like, where the fuck were you? And he said the night before, this was like weeks and weeks and weeks later, the night before our exam, he got drunk, drove another car through another house, 2 houses. I mean, I should be able to pass the test solely on the fact that I've never driven a car through a house. Like, if he can pass that test, I can pass this test, and let's just call it even. Like, and I told my dad that because I had to tell my dad that I failed the exam. I was like, I failed the exam, but Bobby ran another car through another house. And he was like, he barely cared. He didn't care at all about Bobby. Mark this time too. Fuck. He didn't care at all about Bobby, but he cared so much that I failed my exam. I'm like, well, let's focus on the fact that I've never drunk drove through a house. I've drunk drove so many times, and I've kept it on the road every single time. How about that? That's impressive. I've gotten home. I've killed nobody. I've crashed into nothing. I don't plan on drunk driving in the future. I think, you know, it's good to quit once you're on top. So I'm good. I'm taking my cash prizes with me, which is my life and everyone else's life, you know, that I have spared by being a good drunk driver. It's not good to don't drink and drive. But if you do it, don't crash through a house. And don't do it above the legal limit. And don't do it. How about that? I was trying to be a nice parent, but this is why I can't be a parent. I can't believe my friends have children, dude. My friends have children, and I have a podcast where I'm like, hey, if you drink and drive, it's not that big of a deal. Like, what? Never leave your kids with me. Never. I don't care what I say in the future. This is video. This is a video reference, and this should stand the test of time. I think all my friends should watch this and say, hey, sorry, Elle's not a babysitter. She can't because she has horrible morals. Too much of a people pleaser, really. But so, yeah, that was the story about driving cars through houses. I think that's like an incredible thing to do. A car through a house. I hope I don't think anyone was killed because I think I've seen him outside of jail within the past 5 years. And I think if he killed someone, he would have still have been in jail. I assume. Yeah. So, I'm not good at math, and I think that's kind of, I think that's okay. I think we really put way too much value on people who are good at math. Like, just because you're good at math doesn't mean you're good at everything. Like, Einstein fucked his cousin. He's apparently the smartest man in the world, and he had sex with his cousin. I mean, doesn't take that much math to figure out, genetics, who you can and can't sleep with according to who you're related to. I don't know. Seems pretty dumb to me. And so, yeah, what else has been going on? I keep seeing people, and I don't know how to fix this, but we have to fix this because it used to not be a thing. And where they have the phone and it's loud and they don't have the headphones. How do we fix this? It has to be illegal at some point because there was a man volume all the way up on the subway, and no one wants to step to these people or say, hey, just can you not do that? Because everyone, I guess, is on the edge of having a mental breakdown, and who knows what they are capable of, and nobody wants that heat. But it's so obnoxious and so obviously rude. It has to be illegal. I mean, the only thing I do if I see it, especially if I'm in a waiting room, like at a doctor's office, I just play something equally as loud and equally as annoying. I fight fire with fire, and they'll look at me and I'll be like, yeah, it's pretty annoying, isn't it? When someone's watching something, oh my God, or when they're talking on speakerphone. Nothing. My old roommate used to do that. And that, as a roommate, just by the way, is one of the most annoying fucking things you can possibly do. Send this to your roommate. Okay, I'm going to clip it up, send it to your roommate, because I feel like I asked my roommate and she's really bitchy about it. But it's so annoying to listen to other people's conversations. I know you're at home. Yeah, I know you don't want to do the headphones or the phone to the ear, but guess what? If you don't live alone, you don't get to talk on speakerphone. It's really annoying. It's just loud. And you're like, oh, it's so bothersome. Bad roommate. I wasn't the best roommate, but I wasn't bad. I just didn't I'm like really ADD, of no executive function, and so I would let the dishes pile up, and nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. But I'm like, compared to what my roommates did, I mean, that wasn't that bad. My roommate painted a full-blown naked picture of herself that was probably the size of our entire, it was bigger than life size. And it was full frontal, and it was of her, and she needed it. She needed it in the living room. I don't know why. And I saw it and I was like, "Hey, I like your painting. Like, what if we like burned it or something? That would be cool." I feel like it could be like an artistic thing if you just set it on fire, smoke it. No, and she would bring, and honestly, this makes me feel like I deserve to let my dishes chill for a little bit. She would bring guys over, and I would be in my room, and I would have to listen to this whole thing where she'd bring guys in, and then she'd be like, "Yeah, this is my apartment," and then the guy, oh, so cringy. The guy would be like, "Ooh, like, I love your artwork. Who's the artist?" And she'd be like, "Well, it's me." And it's like a naked picture of her. And it's actually not even that good. I mean, oh, it was so cringe. It was so, and she did this with every guy. I'm like, is that the reason why you painted this picture? So just uh, she every guy she brought over, she had sex with, respectfully, sex positive. But I'm saying, if you know you're gonna have sex with them, and that's your choice. Like, a guy will have sex with you. There's no like trying to make a guy have sex with you. Like, that doesn't really exist. If it does, then you have to look inward. But so the guy's gonna have sex with you, right? So you don't need to do this whole like, "Oh, do you like the art? Oh, I happen to be the artist." Like, this whole foreplay of like, "Oh yeah, I just, that those just so happen to be my tits." Also gave herself a full bush. I'm like, who's that helping? Is that not hurting you? That was an interesting artistic choice. Very interesting indeed. And I had to listen to that for years. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm just a little depressed. And maybe that's why my dishes are stacking up, because I have no will to live after hearing these conversations. Man, living with people is hard. Do you live alone, Justin? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it gets lonely sometimes, but I am an introvert. I mean, the loneliness is like, I don't even know what it is. I don't know if it's loneliness, because it's like you think you think you're lonely until like sometimes like there'll be a season of life where everyone has this idea where they want to be friends with me. So I'll get texts from like everyone like, "Let's hang out, let's hang out." And I'm like, I feel so overwhelmed, and I feel like I want to reject everyone, and I almost get like annoyed that people want to hang out with me and spend time with me, and I'm like, I have to do all this stuff. I have all this work to do. I can't hang out with you. But then the next day I'll be like, I'm so lonely. Oh, I wish I had someone to hang out with. I wish I didn't like burn all those bridges with all those friends, all those people who wanted to be friends with me. Dang it. So that's the life I live. But hey, I think this was a pretty good episode. I don't want to make these episodes too long and luxurious. I think I will as time goes on, but I want to keep on freaking knocking these out. Again, if you liked this episode, if you like this podcast, please let me know in the comments. Those comments keep us going, baby. So let us know. Share this podcast with your friends. Follow me on Instagram. Check out my tour dates. I'm going to be in Canada. I'm going to be in Las Vegas this weekend with Kyle Dunnigan. Yep, still smell like a sexy tree. And yeah, all right, have a good day. Bye, guys.